Hi, I'm Ani, here live from the Langston Legacy Golf Course, and I'm sitting next to Councilman Harry Thomas Jr., representing Ward 5. He's a Washingtonian, and he has impacted Ward 5, and he wants to speak about some of the great things going on here at Langston. What would you like to say?
Well, thank you first of all for you guys covering such an important historic piece of our community. As you know, Langston is the gateway to my ward. Sitting here at the Anacostia River, entering into a community that's just a tremendous community. We're next to the second oldest public housing. This was a golf course dedicated by Congress, and the only golf course in the nation that is a federal um, course that is being managed by an African American entity. And so we're very proud that it's here, but we're more proud because of the history. You know, Langston has fended off many things. It fended off RFK when it was trying to redevelop. They wanted to take it, and a guy named Joe Cole fought to make sure that Langston was preserved. It also has fended off the test of time. But what it has not done successfully, and what we'd like to see happen, is have our federal dollars be more applied to this great landmark in the nation, so that the district dollars can match, or if not, preserve more of those funding streams. And so I'm very interested in making sure, because what Mr. Garvin and others has done is connected us to our community. We have golf programs in our schools across the street, and giving kids. I always tell folks this: when you get around to the fourth hole, there are apartments that look over this, and anywhere else in the world, it would cost you about $500,000 in minimum to live on that hole.
And what is your connection to Langston Golf Course? I hear you speak of Mr. Garvin, Golf Hall of Fame inductee. How do you know him?
Well, I don't know if he wants to take credit yet, but he's influenced and helped shape my golf game. You know, my father, when he was council member, he came from the Department of Interior. So him and a gentleman by the name of Gentry Davis, who was a superintendent at that time, really worked with Jimmy to try and get things going. And so when I became council member, I didn't want to just work with him. I remembered those old clubs my dad had, and I'd never taken the time to learn. So I came over here. I wanted to learn the course. And so this course has been part of my daily regime. In the 3 years that I've come in, I get up and get here at the crack of dawn. My mental salvation. I've learned to play golf, learned to work with kids. I've sponsored many of the programs that happen here. I've had funding that has come here through initiatives to help Mr. Garvin. And now we want to expand it. There's property across the street, an old library site that we want to make a mini computer learning center and learning center that's connected to this golf course. And so those are the things that drive me every day, because I've seen how it's changed kids' lives. I've seen the college students that come here that go on to be better. I've seen what people don't understand is that there's almost an all African American workforce here that knows golf course maintenance. And there's no other course I can really go to when I go around golf courses in the nation where we have guys working the greens, maintenance work, working the concessions, doing the things to run a golf course. And I think that's very important that we highlight that, because they've done a capable job. But again, there's a short side. The short side is that I don't believe that the federal government is looking at this in a holistic way to build this golf course the way it should be built. This golf course is part of 3 golf courses, and the only way this company that manages it is able to manage it is because it is part of those other 3 courses, because this has not been a traditional revenue generating kind of course, and that's a big thing. And so we need more investment into the course. We need it to be treated like the historic monuments on the mall. This is a historic monument to John Mercer. So they should come out and match it and help this company, and not look at it as an asset to the national site.
Can you speak to the other organizations that may have sponsored with you to create success? And what would you ask of future sponsors who may be interested?
Absolutely. You know, there's guys like Dr. Banks with Howard University and what he's done with the Langston Legacy Foundation and Jimmy Garvin. There's guys like Mason's Army. There are a number of groups that come out here and participate in things. There's other groups that come out here that have been long time, just everyday golf groups and people who come and play and have memberships of heritage. That's what I call them. You know, those historic memberships where they can tell you about what happened. And you can find anybody here. You know, today I was here one day and I saw people like former Redskin, you know, Roy Jefferson, who used to play down the street at RFK, and he learned Langston and comes back and plays here. Bernard Shaw from CNN, he's out here playing on this course because they understand the value of this course. We have Congress people, you know, Kendrick Meeks, who's running for Senate right now, is out here on this course, and we have all kinds of people who come out here from from Congressman Clyburn, who's been out here, many other people, Lacey Clay, all these folks come out here. Our own Congresswoman comes out here, and so they understand what this means. And so my job as a local representative is to shout the local side, but make sure the federal, for once, pays attention to our neighborhoods and enhances our neighborhoods with federal things. What I also didn't say to folks is we have the Arboretum on the backside, which is another landmark. So we have this federal enclave of landmarks that needs to be preserved. When we talk about green space preserving and other things, that needs to make sure that Langston is part of that. And so that's our job, that's our push, and the lives it's changed at Langston has been tremendous.
And I just want to say thank you to Mr. Harry Thomas Jr., Councilman of Ward 5, representing Langston Legacy Golf Course. He is fabulous, has helped the community tremendously, and he also is a fabulous golfer.
Well, I thank you for that, and I want to make sure I live up to that fabulous billing, Ani. That's Mr. Garvin. That's a reflection. But no, thank you all for doing this story, because I think these are the things that make our community, and without this kind of coverage, we would not have the recognition for a great golf course.
We look forward to hearing more about Langston Legacy Golf Course as it impacts the lives of young people throughout the Washington, D.C. area, and as they move on to become global golfers in a global community. We'll see you on the greens. Have a great day.